House Odyssey event. I'm going to ask that everyone please silence their cell phones and other electronic devices at this time before we get started. Is everyone ready?
Yes.
All right, so an Odyssey is a journey, and this journey shows us how important it is to make good choices, especially ones when it's about drugs and alcohol. All of the police and firefighters you see here are real. All of the emergency medical workers, doctors, and nurses you see here are real. All of these people came here today because they care about you. And they know that the majority of you will make good choices, but they want you to know what can happen if you make bad choices, like using drugs and alcohol. We're gonna go on an Odyssey and see what happens on our tour here today. And this happens every day in towns and cities all across America to real people. So I will lead you on this journey, so if you can start to follow me, but stay close, that way you can hear everything, remain quiet, and listen carefully. But it's going to be a great event here tonight. Go around there. So we're gonna be walking up to our first scene here. It's a party scene. We can get pretty close, but don't go past where the officer tells you to stop. And try to listen up and listen carefully.
Come on up, get a straight line across here. Come on up. Keep coming. All right, right there. Straight line down to the officer. Okay, good evening. This is not just for the young adults and the teenagers. This is also for the adults that does not realize what goes on when situations happen. You know, they hear about it, but here you'll see it. So pay close attention, no talking, and when you get done, your guide will take you to the next location. Feel free to ask any questions from your guide, and he may ask you some questions. Alrighty, go.
Alright, we'll see that later. Yo, I just called up some buddies. They're coming soon.
Awesome, dude. Something's missing here. Drinks in. Mind giving another one out of there?
Of course.
Thanks.
Dude, it's all gone.
What? We just got here. I know. Remember that party we went to about a week ago?
Yeah?
Met some guy, said he could get us some booze. What was his name again?
Travis.
Yeah, dude. Call him up. We need to have some drinks for the girls when they get here.
Alright, we'll call him. Yo, Travis, what's up, man?
What is up, my dudes? Party has arrived.
What is she doing here?
What do you mean?
She's my sister.
And she's my friend.
That's not the point.
Hey, what gives?
What are you doing? You're not supposed to be here.
What's your problem? I'm just trying to have some fun like you.
That's not the point. You're not supposed to be like me. You're supposed to keep doing sports and keep getting good grades. What are you thinking?
What I'm thinking is, I'm tired of being known as your little sister. If I keep hanging out with Molly and them, people at school will think I'm cool.
Ashley, this isn't like you.
It is like me, the new me, the fun me.
What are mom and dad gonna think when they find out Golden Girl is doing this?
Well, mom and dad aren't gonna find out now, are they?
Ashley, look. I don't want you to end up like me, okay? Or like them. Now please, just go home.
You know what? I'm tired of being lectured about drinking by someone who's drinking.
I'm not driving. I know what I'm doing.
Molly, let's go. This party blows.
Ashley, you can't drive with her. She's been drinking.
Shut up. I hate you. I never want to see you again.
Dude, relax. That's just how she is. Hey, listen. Travis, text me. He's got the booze.
All right. Now, where is he?
His car's right over there.
Dude,
Uh-oh.
he's done for.
Yeah, we should probably get out of here.
We can't drive. We've had a ton of drinks. Let's just listen to some music and sober up.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Go ahead with your guide. They'll take you to the next situation. Have a nice evening.
So it looks like we have another group on over there, so we're gonna walk very slowly so that way they'll reset for us. But what we saw here is everyone has decisions to make, right? Travis, Molly, and Ashley all thought they could have a little bit of fun, a little innocent fun, if only they could see their future, which is what we're about to see. And we're just gonna see that future in a few slow steps just so everything resets for us. All right, it looks like we're good to go, guys. So we're gonna go up and we're gonna go around the cars over there so that way we can see everything that's happening. Try to stay close so that way you can hear what they're saying. Let's kind of try to get on over here.
Hey, sir, how you doing? What's your name? Travis. Travis, I'm Officer Gray with the Cape Coral Police Department. The reason I pulled you over is you're having one heck of a time maintaining a single lane back here. You're swerving quite a bit. The reason? Is that a beer bottle I see there? Travis, how old are you? 17. 17. All right, I'm going to step out of the car for me, all right? Just walk to the front of the car, stand there for me. Travis, you understand it's illegal for you to possess an alcoholic beverage under the age of 21? Yes. You understand it's also illegal to possess beyond the fact that I'm going to move this red light back and forth in front of your eyes several times. I want you to follow the light in your eyes and your eyes only and move your head. Does that make sense? Yes. All right. Keep your head still. I want you to move. Stay pointing towards me the whole time. All right. Travis, can you see this solid line here, this seam in the pavement? So I'd like you to do is place your left foot on that line with the right foot directly in front of the heel touching the toe. Just like so. Put your arms down to your side. Hold it right there. Don't move until I tell you to, okay? Travis, when I ask you to begin, you're going to take a series of 9 steps along the line. On your 9th step, leave your lead foot planted. You're going to turn to the left and you're going to walk back along the line for 9 steps. It's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, step. You're going to go to 9. On the 9th step, leave your lead foot planted. Step back and pull down on it. Continue up on the line for 9 steps. Good. 1 to 9. Remember, at all times while you're walking, if your heel touches your toe, arms down by your side, look down at your foot, and count your steps out loud. Once you start walking, don't stop until you get back to the beginning. Do you have any questions? No, sir. All right, you can begin. Travis, turn around and face away from me. Back. Travis, I'm placing you under arrest for DUI, for an open container, possession of alcohol by a minor, and possession of narcotics without prescription. You understand? All right, welcome my car. Travis is going to be going to jail tonight. Does anybody have any questions? You don't. You're looking like you got questions. No? All right, there's a box there with some sunglasses in it. Help yourself. All right.
Alright guys, we're going to be moving on to the next step. So this situation here, this was not what Travis had planned for. But that's not the worst of it. Up next is his day in court. Poor choices have negative consequences. So if you can follow me, we're going to head on over to the courtroom now to see what happens when you get a DUI. Oh, let's go. We're just going to wait one moment and we'll gather here. We're just going to wait for the next group to finish on up and then we'll move on in. How's everyone doing so far? Over there we got some horses. It's not part of the actual planned programming, but if you would like to see a horse. So far guys, what do you think that Travis did wrong? Does anyone have any thoughts? What did Travis do back there that he shouldn't have done? Yes. Drinking underage, that's one of the answers. Yes, that you should not have done that. Any other ideas? Yes? Drinking and driving's a big one. We definitely don't want to do that one. How about you? Did you have a different one or the same thing? Same thing?
Like possession of pills.
Possession of pills, that's also a big thing. So having pills that don't belong to you or just prescription medication in general that doesn't belong to you is a crime, and so is drinking underage and drinking while driving. Because not only is he putting himself at risk, but he's putting others at risk too by drinking and driving. Sorry about this, guys. Better be taking a little bit longer.
What's your affiliation?
My affiliation, so I am at Cape Coral High School, and I am a senior, and I'm the president of my school, Students Against Destructive Decisions. So we are SAD. So if you guys end up going to Cape Coral High School, and a few other high schools in the area have them, there's SAD chapters there. And so really what we're about is not making any destructive decisions, so whether that be drinking and driving, drugs and alcohol, we talk about mental health, and other issues like that, and it's really important, yeah. So, yeah, no, definitely. So, has anyone else been here before? I know there was one hand earlier that was someone who's going to see it tomorrow. Oh, we got a few experts in this area. All right, it looks like we are all set to go in, guys. So as we come in, we're going to respect it like it would be a real courtroom. So please, again, make sure your cell phones are silenced. If you have any hats, we should take them off at this time. The police officer that is at the front of the room is called a bailiff. I'm just going to wait until we get the all clear before we can go on in. Yes, maybe so. Sorry. All right, come on in. Please feel free. Take a seat.
Please fill in every seat from the front row back.
No problem.
Please fill in every seat.
This court is now in session. All rise.
Good evening, may be seated. We're here today for the sentencing of Mr. Travis Davis in the state of Florida versus Davis. Davis has been convicted of DUI, open container, possession of medication without a prescription. Now, as to count 1, driving under the influence, this is a first-degree misdemeanor and it's punishable by 1 year in jail. Count 2, open container, this is a second-degree misdemeanor, punishable by 60 days in jail. And as to count 3, possession of medication without a prescription, this is a third-degree felony, punishable by 5 years in prison. Now, we're in juvenile court here, so the consequences are a little bit different if you were in adult court. But let it be known that this is something that is very serious and you should take this very seriously. Now, before I begin the sentence that I'm going to hand over to you today, I'd like to have an opportunity to hear from not only you, but your attorney as well. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. Mr. Davis, my client, is 17 years old. He's a senior at Fort Myers High School. He'll be graduating this year. He has plans for the future. He's going to go to Florida State University. He's been granted a scholarship to play soccer. He's a really good local talent in that sport. He plans on studying business, and he'd like to become an accountant. And he gets really good grades, and I think it's a goal that he can certainly achieve. On the home front, he lives with his mom, single-parent household. He's got 2 younger brothers and sisters. He helps around the house. He helps his mom with his younger brothers and sisters. He has a part-time job at McDonald's, and he's taken a lot of responsibility in that regard. Your Honor, I'd like you to consider all that, and when you sentence him tonight, and I think you'll find after hearing from him as well, that he's a really good kid. Thank you.
Mr. Davis, would you like to say anything?
Yes, Your Honor. I would just like to say that I know what I did was wrong. I don't have an excuse for what I did. I made a mistake, and I know I made a mistake. I know there are people that care about me, and I care about them, and I disappointed them. I betrayed them in some ways too, and I betrayed myself. And I don't have any excuses for what I've done. This is my fault, and this is entirely my fault. So all I can say is, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. I've heard what you and your attorney says, and it appears as though you're a good kid, and your attorney has said a lot of nice things about you, but we cannot ignore the fact that you're here today because of the consequences of your actions. And you could have hurt someone, you could have killed yourself, you could have put others' lives in danger. So we have to take into account that your actions today have consequences. So considering that, I'm going to sentence you to the following. I'm going to put you on 1 year probation. I'm going to give you a $250 fine, $250 court costs, and also a $50 cost of prosecution. In addition to these fines that you're going to pay, you're also going to do 50 hours of community service. So unlike where you work at McDonald's and you get paid, you're going to be working for free, picking up trash, cleaning, whatever the state needs. I'm also going to put you on a curfew from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So this means that during this time period, you cannot leave the house. I'm also going to suspend your driver's license for 1 year. Now, as I indicated earlier, your actions have consequences. It's the reason why we're here today. And I can't guarantee you that in the future that the conviction that you're coming into is not going to impact you in some kind of way. For example, you indicated, or your attorney indicated, that you want to go to college and you got a scholarship. Congratulations, that's amazing. But I can't guarantee you that the scholarship that you have, your school's going to honor it. I can't guarantee that. He also indicated that you want to become an accountant in the future. Now, to be an accountant, you have to have a license for that. I can't guarantee you that in the future, because you have this conviction on your record, you're going to be able to get a license. Your attorney also indicated that you work at McDonald's and you support your family. You have 2 younger brothers and sisters. You have to ask yourself, what kind of role model have you been to them by being here today? Your actions not only affect you, but it also affects your family, because your attorney indicated that you work to help your family out. Let it be known that I think that you're a good kid, and I think that you've got a lot of good things going for you. It seems as though you have a lot of potential, but you have to realize that your actions have consequences, and that's the reason why we're here today. I hope that you have learned from this, and I hope that you don't find yourself in a situation like this again. And I just want to be clear that if you violate your probation, I don't want to see you again, but if you violate your probation and you find yourself back in my courtroom, it will not be a good day for you. So with that being said, I wish you the best and all the luck in your future. And at this time, I'm going to ask that the bailiff take Mr. Davis into custody so that he begins serving his 10 days in custody.
The prisoner will stand and have the lines back. Come with me.
Court will be in recess.
Alright, we're going to head on over to the next station at this time. But first, let's kind of talk about what a waste of potential and overall what happened to Travis's future. Listening to the judge and in the courtroom here today, I want you guys to think as we're walking out, what would happen in your guys' circumstances? What would happen for you guys if something like that were to happen? I'm not sure. You go that way. Other exit? Okay, so we're going to exit out that way. I'm sorry. So overall, before we move on to the next stage, I also want to say drinking and driving, it kills 17,000 people a year, and over 500,000 people are involved in an incident related and injured from an incident related to drugs and alcohol. So even though those drivers thought that they could handle having drugs or alcohol in their system, they couldn't. People get in car accidents every day, whether that be because of drugs or alcohol, texting or driving, or just being overall distracted in their vehicle. And that's not something that we want to happen. We got to stay vigilant when we're on the road. So we're going to go on over to the next scene, and I think I have a bad feeling about this one. drinking and driving. Let's get on up here. You can get closer, guys. That's your ride.
Are you guys okay?
I'm fine, please, my friend.
Step out of the car.
My friend,
Do you need medical attention? Are you okay?
I'm fine, my friend. She's.
Have you been drinking tonight?
Yeah. My
Put your
friend,
hands behind your back.
No, you have to take care of my friend. Please.
Come sit in my car.
Be advised, we have one 16-year-old female trauma arrest at this time for Lee Memorial.
When you come out, take care of the airway, okay? Ready? All right, board's coming in. All right, we're in. Board's in. Sliding up. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Board's going up. 2, 3. I got compression. All right, go up on the stretcher.
So, you saw what happened to Ashley, Molly, and now Travis. We're going to go check up on Ashley and see how she's going to be doing the next stage. Now, people make good choices every day when they're coming behind the wheel. But sometimes when you make those bad choices, they have consequences. So we're going to go and see what happens. Alright, so we're gonna wait just a little bit before the next stage starts, okay guys?
Please come in.
Come on in. Come on in if you want to get in the. There you go. Yep, we're trying to fill up the first 2 rows.
Toward the end, right here.
Sure, you can go right here. Howard. Perfect.
Dr. Wolf, trauma room 1 stat. Dr. Wolf, trauma room 1 stat.
Hey, trauma team, what do we got?
We have a 16-year-old female unrestrained passenger in a horrific motor vehicle crash. Trooper said that she was unrestrained and hit her head on the windshield, which splattered the glass. They found large amounts of pill fragments on the floor and a large amount of alcohol.
All right, what kind of vitals? Let's get a set of vitals on her. Let's get these clothes off, and let's see what kind of injuries we've got.
All right.
Call in the lab for you for blood work.
Blood
for
pressure is 60
and,
over
CT.
40. She's a heart rate of 125 and thready, very tachycardic.
All right, let's get a liter of fluids on for that pressure. See if we can get her some fluids. Do we have any external bleeding? I'm not seeing any bleeding anywhere. There's some abrasions. Do we have any bleeding that we can see?
Just a couple cuts and scrapes, but nothing crazy.
Her pupils look really constricted. You know what? Did you say they said there was pill fragments? Let's give her some Narcan.
Narcan 1.4 going in.
CT's ready whenever you are.
Thank you.
Narcan's in.
Narcan is in. Let's see. How about her belly looks really distended. You know what? She probably needs an NG tube. Let's see what we can find in that stomach.
All right. Nasogastric tube going in. Drop it into the nose. And in the stomach.
All right, let's see. Lavage of the stomach. Oh yeah, there's a lot of pill fragments here. A lot of liquid too. Probably all that beer they saw on the floor of the car. All right, let's hook this to suction and then we'll get some charcoal going.
All right.
How's our pressure?
Right now it's lower. It's at 50 over 30.
All right, let's do some more fluids and I think we're gonna have to give her some blood. She must be bleeding from somewhere.
Your 4 units of uncrossed are up.
Okay,
Her
blood's
chest,
up.
Her chest feels really, really tight.
Chest is rigid. You know what? I think let's take a listen. Is she still hard to bag? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not hearing any breath sounds on this left side. I think we're gonna have to do a chest tube. Can Can you get me set up for a chest tube, please?
Chest tube set up, quarterback's on the floor. Here's your scalpel.
Scalpel.
Oh, wow.
Look at all that blood pouring out. All right, chest tube's in. Let's hook it to suction and see what we got. Wow, there's a large amount of blood. She should be easier to bag now. What's our pressure? Are we doing any better on our pressure?
I can't get a pressure. In fact, I don't feel a pulse.
I don't feel a pulse. We're gonna have to start CPR. Let's give some epi. I'm gonna give a 1 milligram of epi going in. Hold CPR, let's check her rhythm. I've got VFib. All right, I'm gonna shock her. Can you charge me at 200? Charging at 200. Clear. All right, still VFib. Let's charge at 300. Charging at 300. Charging. Clear. Well, I've got a rhythm. Okay, I've got a rhythm. Let's hang some more blood. Let's change out that chest tube tray, and let's get her over to CT.
Okay.
All right. Wait a minute. This thing is bleeding so much. There's blood coming out all over this chest tube. I think we're gonna have to crack this chest and see what's going on.
These are spreaders.
Let me see the rib spreaders. Oh, there's so much blood. Do we even have a pressure?
I have no pressure and I have no pulse.
No pressure and no pulse. We're gonna have to use the internal paddles. Internal paddles. Charging. Clear. You get anything? No. Charge me again. Charging. Charging at 50. Clear. Anything?
Nothing.
Nothing. Still no pulse. I think she lost way too much blood. I think we're gonna have to call this one. Can anyone think of anything else that we haven't done? I think it was the blood loss. All right. Can someone try to get a hold of the family for me? Time of death?
Time of death is 1842.
Time of death 1842.
And the family, we've still been unable to locate the family.
All right. Well, since we can't get the family, let's go ahead and bag her up for the morgue.
These things today, it's so surreal for me because, you know, one wrong decision can impact your life just like that. We had 3 different scenes that were very impactful. Well, not 3 different scenes, but you had 3 different people scenarios that happened with impacting lives. You know, so for me, one, I want to start off with, you know, what did you guys learn and what can you take away from what you learned today? What you got? Y'all the Girl Scouts. Y'all supposed to be smart now. or is it the boys?
Never go and start the drinking party.
There we go. Number 1. I like it. What you got? Who else got one?
Never drink when you're drunk.
Never drink. Good, good. Who else? That's so important. I say that's about the 4 or 5 groups in front of you. Good job. Amen. Anybody else?
Trey, what did she say?
She said, don't drink and drive. If you do, you gotta call Uber, call your parents, you know, and sometimes, you know, as a child, you know, you don't want to call your parent, but, you know, you gotta get yourself out of situations like that, and sometimes you'd rather be grounded for a couple weeks, a month, couple months, a year, rather than being dead or in a scenario like this, you know. So, you know, I want to kind of walk y'all through the scenario, how I played it in my mind, you know. You had 3 different people who had 3 different things happen to them and different impacts. You know, you had a young lady who had the world in front of her. You know, she was supposed to be the good soccer player who could, you know, be a cool kid or do the right thing, you know, and go home or be with her brother to keep her out of trouble. You know, she wanted to be cool, ends up going with her friend Molly. You know, next thing you know, they end up at a car accident. You know, you had Ashley who had her life in front of her. She's supposed to be a good girl. That one wrong decision made her literally dead, you know. And I've seen that. I've been at parties where I've been next to people who have been dead at same parties I've been at. So it's so surreal for me. You know, you have Molly. You know, Molly is going home with her friend, and now she's doing 10 years for killing her best friend in a car accident. Like, can you imagine being in a cell for 10 years because you killed your best friends? You know. One of y'all killing each other because you made one wrong decision. You know, it's just that close. You know, you're that far away from it. You know, and it's sad because, you know, you don't know it until it happens. You don't think it can happen to you until it does happen. You have Trevor, who, Trevor has, gone to jail. Right now we're looking at him. Trevor's going to jail right now for drinking and driving. Has pills on him. He's supposed to be going to college. He's supposed to, be going on a soccer scholarship and so far. But now he has to go through 66 probation, a year of probation. It's just so much trouble he has to go through just because of one wrong decision. And I talk to me.
Why did you make that decision in the first place?
See, I like your mindset. You know what I mean? Your mindset is where you need to be. You shouldn't even put yourself in those situations. That's the easiest way to keep yourself out of the situation. If you're not at a party, you don't get in trouble because you're at home. You're alive. You're not gonna die in a car accident if you're at home. And you're not drunk driving. It's one of those things where you have to be, different. To be successful in life, we have to be different. There's so many people who want to be cool in the end right now, and it's not cool. What they're doing, and sometimes that's drinking and driving. Oh no, I'm cool. I can make it home. And for y'all, it's like, are you going to be the problem or are you going to be the solution? Are you going to help your friends? You guys have now seen what it looks like to go through a whole scenario like this. You guys are you're going to be a party that look just like that. I promise you. Whether our parents know it or not, you're going to be right. Are you going to be right there because you made one bad decision? I mean, this is a girl who literally made one wrong decision. Now you have a life taken away. You have a friend. Imagine screaming for your friend right now. But they're taking you away for 10 years because you killed your best friend. Now you got to sit next to your best friend's family in court. Imagine being in court and your best friend's family is crying because you killed your best friend, and you're trying to say sorry. It's not a good scene, So we got to be more than normal. We got to be different. We can't be like everybody else. The smartest people weren't like everybody else. They were separated. They made sure they made smart decisions. They didn't look like smart and cool decisions when they were younger to everybody else around them, but they were smart decisions. That's how they ended up successful. If you want to be normal, you do normal things. If you want to be extraordinary, you do extraordinary things. I didn't get to where I was at because I wanted to be normal. I didn't get to where I was at because I was doing drugs. I was taking pills. I was partying. No. I was doing my schoolwork. I was getting good grades. I was working out. I was going towards my goal. You can't have a goal and work backwards from it and expect to make it. When you have a goal, you have to try to achieve it, but you have to believe it first. You have to truly believe in that goal. You have to be different in wanting to get there. Are you putting in more work to get there in your goals than the other person? Are you acting normal? Are you partying with the rest of them? Because I promise the same people who are partying and acting cool right now will be here partying in 10 years. I'm almost coming up on my 10-year high school anniversary or whatever it's called. And I promise you, I have the same friends here that have always been here. And they're the same friends who will always be here. So what are you going to do to be the best? You got to hang around people who are going to influence you. You have to have peers who are like-minded in your way of how you think and where you want to go. If you want to go to college, have friends who want to go to college. You want to be a millionaire, have friends who are millionaires. If you have 5 friends who are millionaires, I promise you'll be the 6th. If you have 5 friends who do drugs and drink and drive, you'll be the 6th. It's just gonna happen. Or you'll just happen to be in a car with one and end up like that. So it's just all about smart decisions at this age. Again, we know you'll be in it, but it's all about finding a way to be smart. And if the best way to not be in it is not be there at all. I'd rather be bored at home and alive than be excited and dead. So I wish y'all the best, Girl Scouts and men. And I want y'all to just go out there and be the solution. Don't be the problem, and keep being Girl Scouts, because I know that's a standard for y'all. Y'all are supposed to be the women of the future for us. So we thank y'all for coming out today and hope y'all learned a lot. All right? Of course.